Hello there.
Well, hello.
How you doing over there?
Well, we're still quarantined, so
Well, I
can't see
figured
much.
hey, well, the good thing is you allowed to tell the story, right?
Yes, this is true.
It's not easy, but it is for sure. That's
Yeah.
the good thing.
And how are you doing? Okay.
We're doing good. Had
Good.
some ups and downs and around the corner with people having difficulties and
Oh,
sickness and death. And so it
right.
is
Yeah.
challenging, but uh, we're still working to help people to get through what they have to get through.
Right.
So that's the most important
That's
thing.
the most important thing, right?
Mhm. So we're just praying for everybody and
I
keeping
know,
everybody in our thoughts and prayers. Their families going through so much.
for sure. Oh my.
I think I hit the wrong button because it's showing everything that I'm saying.
I noticed that it's down below, so I don't know
I think
what you.
I must have touched something.
It's just the closed captioning.
Oh, that's
Okay.
closed captioning.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
I think you can hide it if you don't want to see it. I'm not sure.
That's okay. I don't mind. Interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I think you need to leave it on because if somebody joins the meeting that
Right.
Oh no, I mean I think you can hide it on your end if you don't want to see it, but I'm not sure how.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's the reason. It's for the public in case someone
Sure.
needs it.
Oh, here they all come.
God dear.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I cannot complain.
Can't
God has
complain.
been good. It's good to see you though. Hello, Pastor.
Hello, how you doing, Lady Bernard?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you?
Amen. I am the same. I am the same. Good to
Good,
see you.
good.
Yep.
Indeed. Good to have you on.
Yes, feel honored to be invited. Good. Good evening, everyone. Good to see everyone.
Yeah.
Hi,
I think
Dylan. Hi,
no,
Chris.
Good evening.
Hello, Madam Mayor.
Good, we're all here. That's what I was Hello, how are you? Lindsay's trying to help me out right now, looking for the minutes from our February meeting before we start our regular agenda.
Oh, okay.
So-
I was gonna say I might have them. Let's see.
Hi, Angela.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hello
I'm
there.
still looking.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
So
Michelle couldn't find him. I had her look, Lindsay. That's why I was asking, because I said, oh yeah, we're supposed to approve the minutes, but I don't see them. We can only find
Right.
January. So
Actually, we had an
honestly,
April meeting.
because either A, I don't know if we had one, or B, I don't know if I was there. One of the two. That feels like
I'm pretty
so
sure
long
we
ago.
had the February meeting because I was there, but
Yeah,
I'm
we
not sure.
did. We did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Trying to see if I have the minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking too. I have the agenda here.
Yeah, because I found an agenda, but I didn't have.
Yes, I have a meeting. I have the agenda.
February 25th.
Correct.
Right. Mhm.
I was wondering if because of the pandemic, if that's why we didn't end up getting the
It
minutes.
didn't get sent to us.
That's what
could
I'm
be.
thinking as well.
That could be. Yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah, I don't have any minutes with it, just the agenda.
In here.
That's probably what happened. So I'll send those out, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank
Alright.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Can
it
you
is-
see me at all?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Can you see me at all?
No, you are just,
No,
video on that,
Okay.
which is fine if you can't figure it out. It's,
Oh, no, I just was, sorry. It didn't matter to me either way. I was just
okay.
wondering.
All right, well, before we begin our meeting, why don't we go around and just introduce ourselves to each other since we are half brand new for the group here before we begin our actual pre-meeting, okay?
All right.
So I'm Mayor Angie Sword Heath. Anybody can go.
I am Joaquin Ramos.
I'm Chris Carter.
I am D'Angelo Boone.
I'm Sister Pat.
Vasquez Frank.
I'm Dylan.
Andrea Bernard.
All right, I
Lindsay,
think
and Lindsay Patton.
there was Lindsay. Okay, I was gonna say all right, you're on my next screen. Okay.
I'm
I'm
gonna just hop off and then hop on, Angie.
Okay. Andrea,
Okay.
how long have you been on Human Relations Commission?
Say that again.
How long have you been on the Human Relations Commission?
Well, since it was instituted almost 2.5 years ago, I was one of the first ones of the group with Lindsay, and so we're the two that were here originally. I have served on the Human Relations Commission in the past before when we had it under other mayors. So I put in probably close to 20 years.
Joaquin, how long have you been on?
I think over a year, like a year and a half-ish. And I think I was the last person to join before we suddenly lost a bunch of people.
And Sister Pat?
I've been on 2 years now. Andrea was there and Lindsay and Idali, and then they needed some other people and they approached me and asked me if I would consider. And so I said yes. And so it's been about 2 years.
Okay. I just thought it'd be good for some of the new members to know the history a little bit of some of you that have been on, since we have quite a few new. Lindsay, we can see you now.
Oh yeah, there she is.
She's connecting right now to audio. We can see you now, Lindsay.
Okay. Thank you.
So there were some items that, well, there was an item that was submitted and for our pre-meeting. And Ashley, this was something that you submitted. It's the Citizen Review Commission discussion. Like, I'm not sure what you want to exactly call it, but that's what we went with because we didn't know what to call it. But go ahead, take it away for this discussion.
I've been working with Black Lives Matter of Lenawee, Isaiah and Scott Smith. And we've been having meetings with the chief about like transparency and how the city and the police department can work together more for more transparency and accountability and that kind of thing. So chief is making the changes on his side to incorporate like a citizens review board for it was use of force, like anytime there's a use of force that's reported to the police department, but to have like an outside entity looking at those too. And then citizen complaints to go to 2 places. So not just to the police department, but also to an outside citizens review board, which like we read through our like goals and objectives, and that feels like it falls underneath the Human Relations Commission to like review things like that, or to be involved in a citizen's complaint. So people might be more willing to come forward with a complaint if don't have to go up to the police department to do it. Like if they could submit it in one spot and it goes to 2, the police department and us. So discussing like, should that go to a specific chair? Should it go out to like everyone that's on the commission? Like just how we can work that into our job and goals and stuff like that. Because it's happening on his side, on the police department side. So we just have to talk about how we can make that work efficiently on our end. So things aren't getting lost, or when we lose a member, like it probably has to be set up. Like if it goes to a specific chair, like if that chair is not filled, what other chair after that is in charge of it, that kind of thing.
Mayor?
We can't hear you.
Unmute.
Sorry. My son came home from work, so I was trying to keep it quiet. Sorry. One thing, Ashley, that came up when you asked about this for the agenda, I just happened to mention it. And just interestingly enough, it was by chance, our city attorney came across a resolution that we don't think ever got acted upon. But I'm going to tell you, it was a resolution from October of 2017. And I didn't know if this was like maybe something that we could incorporate this as a part of HRC or what that would exactly look like. But I'm going to read it to you all. Is that okay? That I read you the resolution, what it was? It says, it was talking about our Adrian strategic plan includes a goal to enhance citizen engagement and continue to strengthen communication efforts. The city of Adrian is participating in the Michigan Economic Development Corporation's Redevelopment Ready Communities program that provides for the systematic engagement of the community in city decision-making. The city desires to establish a program which will help to educate the residents of Adrian on various functions and duties of Adrian city government. This program would consist of a series of weekly sessions facilitated by city staff, each focusing on a different aspect of Adrian city government. Funding of this initiative would be considered, this is old obviously, in the fiscal year 2018-19 budget process, with the goal of the first Citizens Academy occurring in the fall of 2018. I know it's not exactly in line, but what we were talking about is possibly bringing this resolution, like this is something maybe just an idea that maybe we can bring this back to the city commission and say, hey, this was already done and it was supposed to have some funding. And I know it addresses more like series of weekly sessions facilitated by city staff. But when you look underneath it, it does, it is called the City of Adrian Citizens Academy. So I didn't know if like we could be a part of that or what you guys, what everybody thought about that. It's just something we found, and I know nothing. I mean, we're pretty sure nothing's ever been done with this. And if maybe we could expound upon it, since maybe nothing's been done, maybe we revisit it and have a new resolution where we incorporate that. I don't know, just some thoughts I'm throwing out there.
Madam Mayor, this is Andrea. I wanted you to know we addressed that as soon as we got started in the HRC. It's under the goals and objectives of the HRC. The mission statement, I don't know if you have any of that. Okay, so it does address that, and what we have set up is that the complaints that are brought to us from city people, individuals, will go directly to the city of Adrian. And we established that it would go there, and then it would be brought to our attention. So people can—
Why there's a complaint form online, correct?
It's a complaint line online with HRC. So people can go, they can go online, or they can bring it to the city. And when they do, we are supposed to be addressing those complaints. Now, as far as the police department is concerned, it wasn't put in that we would send a complaint to them unless it addressed something dealing with the police department. So we already have that established. So I don't think we need the resolution that you're talking about in 2017 because that was before the board was put together. So
Mayor?
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead, Andrew. Are we not done?
no, go ahead.
I'm not a part of the board, but is it okay if I just?
Michelle, that's fine because you have knowledge of this. We talked about it. Let's go. You're fine.
I was just gonna add to that. So there's a page on our website just for the Human Relations Commission, and that complaint form is on the website,
right?
Along with the goals and objectives, and the complaint form is also in Spanish as well. And the direction on the form at this time is for it to go to the generic City Hall email box, which comes directly to me. So if someone were to make a complaint right now, it comes into me and then I would send it on to the commission. So I just wanted you all to know where it was going.
And one of my questions with that is I know, Michelle, that you and I have talked about that complaint form being on there, and I had asked you, about that. Are you getting any? Have you received any?
No.
All right. Is there a possibility, Michelle, since you are in this discussion, and see what the Human Relations Commission thinks about this. I know that we're getting our new website, and it's going to be a lot more user friendly. Thank you so much. Because our current one is not. And I know that there was going to be something on there that, people could, I don't know, I don't remember, Michelle, what you called it, but it's going to be different than the Engage Adrian or whatever that app was where people can complain about blight. Is there a possibility where it could be, where somebody could complain about blight, or somebody could file that complaint with the HRC, and, like where it could be double-edged like that, where it could go either direction and they choose which way it goes? Is that a possibility at all, so that it is easier to access and find? Because I think people don't know about this.
I'm sure. And there's a few different things we can do with the new website that I think will help. The first of which is there's going to be a feature where individuals can subscribe to different things that they want information about. So for example, if someone wants to know about every single meeting that's coming up, they can check that box and they will get an email or text message for every meeting notice that goes out. We can do the same type of thing, like, if you just want information about Human Relations Commission's meetings. So there's one piece of it. And then there will also be a citizen complaint or information reporting center that's similar to SeeClickFix, but it won't have the discussion aspect of it. SeeClickFix is more almost like a social media platform type setup. And this will be kind of like you fill out a form and you pick a category and you type in your complaint and you submit it, and then it's directed off to the appropriate department. We can also we have a new online form system. So another option is we could take that form, or if you wanted a different version of it, turn it into an online form that someone can then submit, and we can direct it where to go. So it can go to, the same email address it goes to now, or it could go to the chair of the HRC, or it could go to, the chair of the HRC and the chief of police. We can set it up however you want. And then those forms are able to be viewed on the user end pretty easily. So you can view every report that comes in. It's its own separate system.
So that's something that we could do, where they could do the online form and it could go to the chair, and the chair could pass that around, pass that on to the Human Relations Commission then, so that that's something that could be discussed at the next meeting. You're saying that that would be that easy to share?
Yes, and we could also set it up so it actually goes to every member of the HRC. We can do it however you want.
Oh, you can do it to multiple, even better.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle, for that.
You're welcome.
Madam Mayor, can I ask a question? When it comes,
it's pre-meeting. We can do anything. I'm not sure, you guys.
In regards to this process, okay, so somebody files this complaint, it goes to the HRC, and then we forward that complaint over on to whatever department that it needs to be to address the concern. And then what is the process after that? Did the HRC follow up? Is there reports that are filed issued to the person that made the complaint? That information comes back to the HRC. Who is the one that that kind of follows the track of what's going on with that complaint?
And that's what we need to discuss. And so Andrea, like, did you have any
Yes.
complaints? Like, can you address what's happened in the past?
Actually, we did not receive complaints through the city. We actually had individuals that approached HRC members, and concerns came to us, but we did not get one in writing. In order to address it, we need to have things in writing so that we can follow up the facts. So when people come to you and they just have a concern, that's something that we can just talk about. And when you submit a complaint or you ask them if that's something that they would like to do, is to submit a complaint, then we have them fill the form out. And then we as a group would make the decision on the next step that we go to. If it's a police matter, we definitely have to include the police. If it's something that is above our purview, then we have to go to the mayor and have her or him to take care of that. So, and then we get direction. But we did put together information on how the process should go and what it should look like. However, again, we still have to make sure that we're in line and not overstepping into other areas of the city. So did that answer your question?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, let me say this. The HRC has been trying to accomplish the very goal that you're asking about, and why we were having different programs to address the issues that were in the community. We did take care of some of the concerns that people were asking about or concerned about. And that was with diversity, LGBTQ, also making sure that people have an avenue of knowing that we are around now. And I think they know more about the HRC and what the HRC is doing. We were putting brochures together so that we can get the information to people. First Fridays, we were passing out the brochures to let people know that we were available. We took turns going on the first Friday of each month. So it's a lot of things that we did do, but you, again, you have more with the numbers that we have now and the people that are willing to work and know that the urgency is now instead of later. You know, when we talk about Black Lives Matter, everybody doesn't understand what that means or they're concerned about it because they don't know that they need to be concerned about that because that's part of our community. So the same thing is true with people having complaints. And remember, we also have the NAACP, who is quite active in this community, and they get a lot of complaints. And they have to also get that in writing in order for us to move forward. And so we do tell people how to do that and show them how to do. If they don't know how, we help them to fill out the format. And so we know that they're serious because sometimes people want to complain, but they don't want anybody to know that they complained or what they complained about. So our job is twofold. One is that we come together and we have a plan of action and we become a team of people that are working together for the good of this community. And then we have the other job is to report everything that we have coming in to our mayor and also the city. And we have to keep Tamaris involved because she makes sure that we don't overstep the areas that we're supposed to. So that's one of our tasks that we have before us.
And for those that don't know, Tamaris is our city attorney. That's who she's referring to.
Yes.
Is there access or is there on the website where it states what things that the HRC is able to address, where I can print that out and make that accessible at the Bulletin Board for Paris Park or the Paris Park community as well?
Well, one thing that we are going
to
to talk about tonight later on is looking at the current brochure. If we had time for other things as time permits, was going to be to look at that current brochure. It is on our City of Adrian website. I can't direct you to it when I'm on Zoom at the same time, sorry, but I think I did send it to you when I was asking you about being on the Human Relations Commission, but I can make sure you all get that to take a look at. But you know, there's things like we need to change it anyways because the people have changed in the group.
Right.
But we also need to look at it and say, you know, and that's something hopefully we'll have time to discuss, just to say, do we want to change anything in this? You know, is there anything, since we're already going to have to change it anyways, do we want a brochure or do we want something that's just online? But do we want papers we can give out? You know, like we need to discuss some of those things, which we can do both of them. I mean, we can have it online and have papers to give out. That's not like the actual brochure I meant. But you know, those are some things that we need to look at and think about and figure out as well, because I think a lot of what you're bringing up is just that a lot of people don't know about Human Relations Commission, or maybe they know, but they don't know what they do.
What it does,
Yeah. And I also think it's just like, I didn't even know, when I was looking for something, that's how I found that complaint form. I didn't even know it was on there. And I just think a lot, if more people knew that their voice could be heard through the Human Relations Commission, I think they'd let their voice be heard, because they have a voice. They have 9 people here to be their voice. They have a whole commission to be their voice and to advocate for change, but you know, they don't know maybe the process or how to go about it. I'm trying to spread the word as much as I can, but you know, it's now that we have 9 people, that's going to help a lot. But so going back to like what Ashley, like what you were wanting to talk about with the citizen review, like what are you thinking now that you've heard, you know, like what Andrea has discussed with it?
Sounds like a lot of the structures in place already. We just kind of have to like connect the two ends where it comes on Chief's end. It sounds like he really just needs to add like the contact information, so when like the sergeants are filling out that use of force and sending it to Chief, like it also comes here or to Michelle or to whoever the chair is or something like that. So like that just has to be on his end. And it sounds like the complaints are already set up and in place. I think people just need to know that that's a possibility. I don't even think Chief knew that that was part of part of the HRC already.
Is this something where you'd want like a group that's like a subgroup, like the citizen review, that brings it to the HRC, or is it just something that all 9 of us would be involved in? Like, what does everybody think about that? I don't know exactly what you're asking, Ashley, but what everybody else feels about that as well. I don't know.
One idea I had in mind is what we used to do, where we would subdivide the group into other groups to act. So like we had a publicity committee, which I think was 3 people, but normally these things were 2 to 4 people, I think. And they would fill out that role for the HRC. So one was the bylaws committee, and they would bring back the information as they're working on it for the rest of the HRC to review. And they'll just operate as like a point group. So that's one idea.
And as long as we don't have more than 4 people, since there's 9 of us right now, then we don't have a quorum for like the HRC. So then we're not breaking the Open Meetings Act. So we are allowed to do that. We just need to keep it 4 or less. Therefore, then we don't have because we can't have that quorum. That's what we've just got to be careful of.
Yep,
okay?
That's from my understanding of why we decided to make it the sizes we did.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Mayor, can I just interject there for a minute? This is Robin.
Oh, sorry, Robin. Thank you. Go ahead.
If it's a subcommittee or a committee of the HRC committee, it's still a committee.
Right.
So you have to keep that in mind. You would still have a quorum there.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
why
we have to keep it 4 or less, right? Because there's 9 of us
3.
total.
No,
or less.
not if you form a committee. If you form a committee, that committee becomes a subcommittee of the HRC. So that's a committee now. So you've established, if there's 3 people, that's a quorum. So you have to be careful there. That was issues we discussed, I believe, with you guys a couple years ago. About
Okay.
forming subcommittees. When you form subcommittees, those are still committees. And Michelle, you can chime in there with me because
Okay.
Michelle is very aware of this too with the Open Meetings Act. But when you form subcommittees, those are still committees and still commissions, and they still have a quorum. So you still cannot form. You still have does that make sense?
Yes, I guess I didn't realize that because I know like we will have groups of commissioners that will, that would meet together, that maybe like 2 get together and discuss just whatever, 3, and then we know we're okay. I guess I didn't realize that that actually was something that would need to have a meeting notice and everything as that subcommittee. Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, I think it just depends on how it's formulated. If a group spins off and gets together less than 4 and talks about a topic, that's okay. But when you officially designate a subcommittee,
okay,
if that makes sense.
Yep.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Madam Mayor,
Just be
this is
like,
Andre.
oh, go ahead.
We did have subcommittees that were 3 or less, 2 to 3 people. And we were given approval to do the 3, not more than 3. And we only met to gather information and present it to the entire HRC board. So I think that's how we were able to do it. We weren't making decisions. We were actually gathering information, formulating the information, and presenting it to the HRC. And I think that's exactly what they were allowing us to do. Now, whether that is a problem, then we would have to, get that information. But we were not making the decisions.
Exactly.
Yes. And I would say, this is Sister Pat, I would say too, Ashley, that if the sheriff is interested in having this type of a commission, it really wouldn't be necessary to form another commission. It seems it falls under our purview to receive that. Now, how we determine how to do that, whether it's the chair who receives it and then disseminates the material, or as in the past, you all had 3 disseminating that material among the entire group. That would be my preference, that the sheriff could count on us as that type of body for the city, because that is our work. And it also would give us good public relations with the community, because we would be made known more that we are the ones that they can go to. So that would be something to think about.
And I was kind of thinking that just because it really did fall underneath us in general, Ashley, that and the rest of the board members, I really felt like, honestly, this is something that we could I didn't know if we really needed that subcommittee. That I was just asking that. Sorry to make it turn into a big discussion about that. I didn't know though if we could just, make that where it, like I said, if there was a way for Michelle on that online form, any complaints goes to all of the commission members, and there might be something where we feel it's pressing enough that we need to call a special meeting. That is something that can be done. We still have to serve public notice. We have to make sure we do it in enough time. And, that if it was something where we're meeting in person, where that we could get city chambers, and all of that. But that is something that if it was a pressing that could not wait till our next Human Relations Commission meeting, we could call a special meeting if it was something that pressing. But I didn't know how everybody felt about, if that was something that the citizen review, like those complaints, that's just a part of us as HRC. And I didn't know how, Ashley, how you felt about that or how everybody else did.
I think that's what we were kind of looking in our other meetings with the chief. Like, we just weren't sure if that's what fell under the HRC, but it sounds like that's exactly what should have been happening anyway. So we just have to make it known that that's already a thing.
Right.
Lindsay, I think Lindsay was trying to talk. I saw her down in the corner.
I'm just gonna be here.
Just wait.
So, yeah, I like the idea that you had, Angela, about all of us being included and sending the form to all of us. And then if something arose, then we could call a special meeting, because I feel like just having the support and not making a subcommittee, it's just one less thing, because we might need the subcommittees for something else. And we can form them. We'll need all the people we can get at this point. So I think that we can form other subcommittees for something else, but I feel like all of us should be involved in this one and not take up a subcommittee.
That was my thought when it comes to like
sorry,
like having that everyone that can be involved should be involved in something like that, because you need all the eyes that you can get.
All the eyes and opinions.
Calling the police department, people are going to be concerned, and having as many people looking at it as possible.
And if they choose not to, that's fine. But I feel like this is a group effort, and more people, the better, in this particular instance.
I also like the idea of everyone getting the email.
Yeah. Michelle, since you're on the call, can you answer something? Do we know when the new website, like when that would be up, where we could be, promoting that? Like, this is something we could probably put in our brochure, but also something we can just pass along, on our own, in our own groups of friends we hang out with, in our social media, whatever it might be, that people know this is out there.
Yeah, and I apologize, my dogs are going to be barking in the background, but so I just got an email either yesterday or the day before that the content migration portion is done. So now they do an internal Q&A, which takes about 1 to 2 weeks, and then they start doing content editing training with us. So I don't have an exact date, but I would guess probably another month or so. However, in the meantime, we can definitely update the brochure, create the online form, and start getting the word out even before the website is finalized. So that actually gives us the window of time to work on that.
And that gives us time to, have that on our regular agenda. Since this is a pre-meeting discussion right now, we really should have it on our regular agenda for the next meeting. So that would be perfect, to say that, we're going to have, the people can go onto our online form, can contact us, that this is one of our duties, that we are there, like a citizen review group for the public, something along that line. Didn't have great wording there, but we can put that on our regular agenda and have that resolution on there for the next meeting. And that would be almost perfect timing then, it sounds like, for when that website's gonna open to the public. So that sounds like that would be a good plan of action.
And those online forms are actually already something that we can build and link to. We're already using them. So even before the website is officially done, we can create that form and link people to it. And the form piece is a separate software. So that can all be used before the website even goes live. So that's not an issue at all.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Are we okay to move on to point number 2 due to time? Okay. The planning and goals for the Human Relations Commission, like, yes, we have our, if you don't know this, we do have documents that are online. We do have, goals for the HRC. I will make sure after this meeting to send you all of the links to that. They're not the easiest thing, like I said, to find on our current website. So I'll make sure that you get that in the next day or so. But, we need to start planning out, like, what are some things that we want to accomplish, or at least, just start having this discussion, like, besides what we just talked about, which is great. And I do hope that we'll have some time to talk about the current brochure here at the end, but just go ahead. I'm just opening up.
This is Andrea. Has everyone had a chance to see the goals and objectives that we have put on the brochure?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
old one. I think, yeah,
That's the old one, but it's still, the information
the-
is the same, right?
Yeah,
Okay. The mission statement that we
Right.
had, I think maybe after everyone takes a look at that, then they would probably be able to revamp or, have more ideas, because I think we are changing a lot of things because our times are different. Things are happening in a different way now. People are more vocal. People are more anxious to know information and also to give information. We are embarking on a time that we need to change a lot of things, and we may not have included everything, but it still is an outline that we can be guided by, and we can still accomplish what we need to with the way it's set up at this moment. But again, I think the biggest thing that we have, that we need to do, is actually get people to know that we are available for them.
yeah.
And one thing I was going to say is, if, I just thought what might be a good idea is to look at everything, that not just the brochure, but, look at what our goals are, like, what is exactly in the ordinance, like, look at that. I know that's out there, but make sure that you're really looking at it, examining it, maybe taking notes, and, coming back even the next time, or, maybe sending an email to somebody else on the, group, or getting together with one of them and, discussing it. Just please do not reply all, but, coming back with ideas for that, so that we could really possibly even, my thought was really start thinking about it now, so we can plan out, like, the next year at least, or something along that line, at the next time we get together, based on like, you come with your own thoughts and everybody presents what their own thoughts are based on our goals and objectives. When you look at the ordinance and you look at what the mission of the Human Relations Commission is. That was one thought I had. I don't know everybody else. I'm trying not to dominate this. Sorry.
So do we maybe want to make sure everyone gets sent the link and
Yes,
talk about this more in the next pre-meeting, so we all have a little more time to think about it?
that exactly is what I was thinking. I just wanted to start the discussion now and get you thinking that way, kind of hear, like, how, what's happened. Lindsay?
We did have, this is just an example, okay? With our last group, and even a group that I'm in, now we have a calendar. So this just as a thought, plan out some calendars, just throwing out ideas, Angela. maybe this is how we have things set up. So I can send you a calendar, and that can be an example as past things that we've done, an example of future ways that we can set things up, different ways, like weekly things that we can do, like if we go have a weekly program. I don't know. I mean, this is just the activities coordinator in me thinking. I don't know.
And
So-
some other, and to go along with what Lindsay's saying, if you already know of something, I mean, I know we're in pandemic time, so some things are all on hold right now and we don't necessarily know dates, but you might know of events that are coming up that you think would be great for us to be a part of, you know, if it's events that you're looking at, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Those are some things to bring to that next, you know, discussion, is just things that you know of or are that are possibly on the horizon that, you know, we can take a look at as well. It might be something along that line. In the past, we would have had a lot of events you probably would all be aware of. I just think a lot of things are on hold right now because nobody really knows what it's looking like for the future. But and in the future, it won't be me talking. Sorry, you're gonna have a chair. You're gonna vote on your officers tonight, and then that chair can run the pre-meeting.
Just to let everyone know, I sent out the link to the Human Relations Commission website page. So when you get done here, you should be able to all see it in your email.
Thank you. But does that also have the one from the ordinance where it's in there about the Human Relations Commission?
No.
It has the goals and objectives and the
Okay.
applications in the brochure.
All right. Thank you.
I can also send out the link to the ordinance if you'd like.
Yes, will you do that as well? Because that has
Sure.
some other really good information. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Yeah, thanks.
Madam Mayor, there's another part that we need to take a look at that we have been doing, and that is the City of Adrian's Ethics and Values Code. I don't know if everyone has had a copy of that, but we need to each person get that as well. So if she could send that out, that would be good. Because there's a lot of things that we had not had the opportunity to address, but that once you review this information, it will help you even answer some questions or maybe even invoke more questions that we can.
Thank you, Andrea. Are we good then with, you know, thinking about and like looking at everything and really researching and coming back with ideas and, you know, looking at our future and what we want to accomplish?
I agree.
Sounds good.
One thing that we really need to talk about here before we do start our regular meeting then is this brochure, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now that I sent them the wrong brochure because I don't even think we have that updated brochure on our website. We have that old one we held up.
Oh,
it's that old one that Ashley held up because that's what I sent them. So I know that one. So I'm not sure how to get our hands on that, but we need that one. But I would like everyone to take a, you know, I think that that's something. How do we feel? Do we want to do? How do you feel about, do you think you have something you could hand out in addition to something online, or, you know, how does everybody feel about that?
I am all for having something in my hand that I can hand out.
Me too.
I just find that there are quite a few people in the community that don't have access to internet. I'm as easy as others, so having that paper is going to be really important.
Yes.
Agree.
Yes.
And that was one of the reasons why we did the brochure, because there's a lot of people that don't have access and or don't use the access that they do have. So it's good to have both.
Are there meeting places or anything like that where we could, you know, have them accessible? I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box. Like, I don't know. Is there like regular places? I'm trying to think of like, we're not like a community that has like a community center. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
trying
but
to,
we have some
Yeah,
community
but we have
parks
a
that
lot
can
of
hold
places.
things.
Yeah, we have a lot of places. We had decided, we had included, I should say, we included the churches. We included them
okay,
maybe possibly putting it in their brochures or their bulletins, or basically putting on their bulletin boards. We also were talking about passing them out within the city, different places, the businesses that would allow you to, because a brochure is a brochure and it talks about our city. So we have places that you can put the libraries.
Mhm.
You know, there's a lot of places. You
Good.
know, even some of the gas stations will allow you to do it. You know, when I go around, it's a lot of businesses that are very aware of what we're trying to accomplish because we're talking to them. And so that's
Yeah.
what we have to do. And I know when you work in the community, you're going to be able to reach the community. But you have to have sometimes something to hand them, to leave with them so that they can talk about it or even show people, because not everybody talks. Some people just hand you paper.
If you guys want to redesign the brochure, we have, a little bit of budget in marketing that we can use to redesign it and print copies that you guys can have to hand out. That's up to you. But I'd be happy to help you do that if you'd like.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Michelle.
you.
Yeah.
So, Michelle, though, do you have that brochure that they held up?
So the one I have, that one that Pat has, I have no idea where that came from.
The
Hope you ever
brownish.
share that with me.
I don't know who has it in their computer.
I updated one, and this is Andrea. I updated one that we never passed out because the names changed, the commissioners changed. So we
Okay.
didn't want to print them. I have probably about 10 of them. And what I can do is just for information now. That's basically what it's for. I'll see if I have it still on my computer. If I do, I will send it to Michelle. Is that okay, Michelle? And then you can send it out to everyone?
Sure, that's fine. And then
Okay.
maybe at your next meeting, you guys can talk about, if you want a new design or if you want something different or what you want it to say and all those things. And,
Right.
I think last time you had a couple people that you put on like a smaller committee to kind of do that and then go back to the larger group.
Yes, that's what we did. Mhm.
All right. So if we could get that to everyone, and then everybody can take a look at it, and that's something that. Or do you want that smaller group to work on that then, or is that what you're looking at? Or maybe we don't need to change. We don't know what it looks like, so maybe there's nothing that
I
really.
was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. Because it has the mission statement on it, right? What else does it have
Yes,
on it? We're
it
not
does.
looking.
Okay.
The mission statement, yeah.
Mhm.
Goals and objectives are there. Services and support offered. Then you have contact and meeting information. See, there's a thing that says complaints. Information regarding how to submit complaints to the HRC will be available at City Hall.
So maybe that's something we could actually put the actual URL for, like how they, the website like spot where they can submit an online complaint. But we should have, thinking about that, don't you think we should have a way that they can file a complaint to the HRC can see that's not via online? Because like D'Angelo brought up, and I know we've had that issue even discussing census before, that not everybody has internet access. So if they don't have internet access, then how are they supposed to file a complaint if the only way is through that online? We need to have some kind of a system that somebody without internet. So what do we have?
We still, under the complaint, it still says information regarding how to submit complaints would be at the city. Anything that you'd like to submit to the HRC will be available at the city. So that means that you're going to have something there. The complaint forms are there. The
Mhm.
brochures can be at the city as
Right.
well. So
Is
that was our goal.
Could that
was
be
to put-
something, Michelle, where there's maybe a box, like maybe outside of my office or something? So it's right there on the first floor, so they don't have to, I don't know how to make that easy to access. It's
We
just
do
a thought.
have, we have the drop boxes out back where people can
Right.
place things after hours, but we could also set up something inside by your office. If they want to mail it in, we can put it to your attention. There's a few different things we could do.
So that's something even where we could say, you could submit it via online or by dropping it
Mhm.
in the Dropbox or the mayor's office or something along that line to get to the HRC. I don't know. It's just a thought. Like, we can think about the wording.
I have a question. This is D'Angelo. Where would they? Okay, if they're not getting the forms online, where would they obtain these forms? These forms at City Hall.
That's why I was saying a box,
That-
because if we put it outside as long as the
Mhm.
only problem with that is, I know why she's suggesting dropping them off after hours, having the Dropbox, because our hours are only 8 to 4:30. If you work, I mean, it can be difficult. I've had people tell me that before. It can be difficult to get, but maybe at some point they can get in there and get those, I don't know, or do you have it be a part of the brochure where they could just cut it with scissors? I mean, those tear-offs cost a fortune. We don't want to do that, but I know that because I've looked into that before. But maybe it's something where they can like cut it off and it's like one side of that brochure where it's a complaint form, and then that way they can drop it after hours. I don't know.
The drop boxes outside, we actually have containers attached to them that are currently holding envelopes to pay bills, but they're waterproof plastic containers, and we could actually put some complaint forms in one of those if you want, and we can put a label on it, and then that way
Mhm.
people could pick them up after hours as well.
Love that, Michelle.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks, D'Angelo, for bringing that up, because I always forget, not everybody has internet access. So are there any other items that anybody wants to discuss before we head into our meeting?
Maybe we should briefly go over how the appointing of officers works, just familiarize everyone.
Yep, that's probably a good idea. What you're going to be doing, by the way, is we are trying to swear everybody into their positions. And so the new commissioners will be sworn in, by the way. That's why that's on the regular agenda. And that's why Robin is on the call. And Robin tonight is taking the minutes for us. I know, Lindsay, you're doing, thank you. But I also had Robin on here in case I didn't,
So I
and then-
stop for a minute.
Yeah, so we're going to be appointing, because we'll be, appointing these positions. I don't know, how do we want to go about that? I mean, I've done it several different ways. I had an ethics board and we did it a different way. Usually it's like you nominate somebody for that position, but I guess what we could discuss right now is, is there anyone that's interested in that position? So maybe people know who's interested in what positions, or if you would like to give a little background, maybe each of yourselves, so that people know who to nominate for the positions, or, the chairperson, you're going to run the meetings. You're going to be the main communicator for the group. You're going to be, it won't be me, but you'll be, you'll be that main communication for the whole group. You're the one, just kind of spearheading and keeping everything together for the group. And like I said, running the meetings and, asking for motions when it comes time for, resolutions, and, asking for that vote and various duties. The vice chair fills in when the chairperson is absent. You know, various duties. I don't know. What have you done in the past, you returners, for your vice chairperson? Is there anything besides filling in? Is there any other duties you have? I don't know.
In the past, we didn't really have a vice chair.
Okay. Well, there's your answer.
Not because we didn't want one, but things just didn't work out right. We ended up not being able to get one in time.
You know, one thing that I know some other groups have done that the vice chair does, I mean, this would be horrible if you did not have the secretary and the chair there on the same night, because that person would be stuck doing both. But sometimes that vice chair has been the fill in for the secretary when the secretary isn't there. But it's not always advised, because then if you don't have them both there, that would be a nightmare. One thing that was not actually listed on here was, you know, a secretary pro tem, but that is something even the treasurer could do, because the treasurer's job is going to be something where they don't really have to do anything necessarily during the meeting. So that's something where they could fill in that secretary position if you all feel comfortable with that. Secretary obviously is going to take notes. You need to get the minutes into Michelle, because Michelle does post them online. That is one of our requirements, that our minutes are online. So that is something that, you know, you would be submitting in a timely manner after our meetings to make sure that our minutes get posted on the city website. The treasurer would be in charge, obviously, of, you know, watching over the money. There, we do have a small budget, and we will use it for certain things. We purchased books in the past. Help me out. What else have we done? I know we've done more than that, but I can't remember. And I wasn't on the Human Relations Commission, so I was just.
We've done programs. We've hired, or we've asked people to come in and facilitate diversity trainings. So that's what we've done with the money.
So those are those positions. We are almost at 7 o'clock right now. Do you want to, when we do start the regular meeting, do you want to do it where you just, you know, nominate somebody? I know you don't know much about each other. That's where this makes us kind of crazy. It was a little bit like that. Our ethics board is new, and they didn't even know each other until that meeting in Zoom, and they had to pick officers. So I didn't know if you want to give, you know, maybe, you know, just a 2-second speech about yourself, or how you want to do that, since it is almost 7 o'clock. But I didn't know how you want to go about it. What do you want to do?
I think that we can do it in generally the normal way of someone nominates someone and they can refuse whether they want to or not. Besides that, I would like to hear what the group thinks about whether we would prefer a treasurer that's also secretary pro tem, or whether we want those to be two different things. So we have a better idea of how many officers we need.
Yep. Any thoughts on that? Like, do you want, because we can amend the agenda. That's why, like, when we have approval of our regular meeting agenda, if we want to quick, you know, when we start here, if we want to amend that agenda to add a secretary pro tem, we can. So it doesn't matter to me at all.
I would like the agenda already. It's on the regular agenda already.
I don't see a secretary pro tem. Do you have that on yours? And I'm missing it.
I do.
Yeah.
I do have it on mine.
Okay, that's weird. I must have an old one because I don't have it on mine. Okay, thank you.
So is that what we want to do? Do we want to have 5 officers?
I think that's okay with 9 people. I feel like that is, but that's my thought.
Yeah. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, in case
Can't
the
hurt.
can't be there, then you have somebody that fills in.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we will get ready for our regular meeting here, okay? I am going to kind of be in charge of this just to get you going And then once you have a chair, the chair takes over. I'm out. So, all right. Okay. All right. I call to order the Human Relations Commission meeting of July 28th, 2020. If everyone can please rise for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Robin, can we get a roll call, please?
I think I have all the members' names correct. I'm not sure. Ashley, your last name is Frank.
Cavazos Frank.
Okay. Do we call you guys commissioners, Andrea? We call you commissioner.
Yes, Commissioner.
Commissioner Patton,
Here.
Commissioner Ramos,
Here.
Commissioner Boone,
Here.
Commissioner Heath. Mayor
Here.
Heath. Commissioner Carter,
Here.
Commissioner Harvat,
Here.
Commissioner Cavazos Frank. Ashley.
She said here, we couldn't hear her.
Okay. Commissioner Bernard
Here.
and Commissioner Barron.
Here.
All commission members present.
Thank you. Lindsay, were you able to send the minutes? Or no?
No. I will get them to you as soon as possible.
Okay. May I get a motion to approve the February 25th minutes at the next meeting on, I don't know the date, I'm sorry. I'm looking fast.
Oh, hold on, Angela.
We can just approve them at the August meeting.
August
I
25th.
motion.
25th.
August 25th. May I get a motion to approve the February 25th, 2020 minutes at the August 25th meeting?
I
so
motion.
Oh,
Okay, Commissioner Ramos, we'll give it to you.
Okay.
Can I get a second?
A second.
Okay. So I have a motion from Commissioner Ramos with a second from Commissioner Boone. Roll call, please. I can do it. I feel bad that I'm making her do it. You want me to do it, Robin?
I'm muted, I'm sorry. Commissioner Patton,
yes.
Commissioner Ramos,
Yes.
Commissioner Boone,
He said yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
There, are you a commissioner or are you the mayor?
I'm the mayor. I'm on the commission, but I'm the mayor. You can just say
Mayor
that's-
Heath,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat,
yes.
Commissioner Cavos Frank, sorry,
She said yes.
Commissioner Bernard,
Yes.
Mr. Barron.
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes of the February 25th meeting to the August meeting is approved by unanimous vote.
Can I get a motion to approve the regular meeting agenda?
I motion.
I second.
Go ahead.
Who did the second?
Me, I think.
Okay. I have a motion from Commissioner Boone with a second from Commissioner Ramos. May I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Ramos,
Yes.
Commissioner Boone,
Yes.
Mayor Heath,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Ashley. I'm going to call you Commissioner Frank. Is that okay? Commissioner Frank. Did she approve that?
Yes.
Commissioner Bernard,
Yes.
Commissioner Barron,
Yes.
Commissioner Patton.
Yes.
Agenda approved by unanimous vote.
Okay, Robin will now be swearing in our new commissioners. How do you want to proceed with that, Robin?
Okay, I'm going to actually read you the oath of office, and I just need you can mute yourselves and just raise your right hand and read along with me. And then when we have the opportunity to meet in person, I will need you to come in and sign these in person at City Hall. So if you'll raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Human Relations Commission in and for the City of Adrian, County of Lenawee, State of Michigan, according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now, moving on to item number 2. We need a motion. So may I get a motion to accept the resignations of Italy Feliciano and Hope Bernard? They were on the, just to explain before I get the motion, they were on the Human Relations Commission and they resigned during the pandemic and we have not had a meeting since then. So that is accepting them, their resignation. We're asking to accept their resignations right now before we go ahead and appoint our new chair people. Okay. So may I get a motion to accept the resignations of Feliciano and Hope Bernard?
I so move.
I second.
Okay, is there any public comment? Are there any commissioner comments?
Just thanking them for their service.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say. Thank you very much. They've done a lot in their time here, and they are very well appreciated, and we are very grateful. And thank you very much for all they had done.
Madam Mayor, this is Andrea. Can we send a letter of thank you to each of them?
Yes, you want it where we all sign it? How do you want it to go about
Yes,
that?
ma'am. Yes.
I think it would be good.
Yes,
So how
ma'am.
about if we draft up a letter and you come into City Hall and sign it at some point, both letters to each of them in my office, so you can leave it on my desk in my office, because I have a conference table that I rarely use. So I could leave them sitting out there and you could just walk in at any point in the next, I won't be able to draft it tomorrow. I'll work with Michelle and we'll try to have it there Thursday. So you could walk in at any point and sign those letters, and then we would make sure they would receive them.
Okay.
Can we
Mayor-
make it available for more
you,
than one
I
day?
know. Sister Patty, I will get it to you. I will
Okay.
find a way to you. I know your circumstance.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Ramos, did you have a comment?
Can we make that available for more than one day, the letter?
Oh, it won't be
Okay.
available for one day. I can leave it out for a long time. I just meant I can't get it out till Thursday.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So I have a motion from Commissioner Harvard. How do you say your last name, Sister?
Harvat.
Harvat, sorry.
Uh-huh.
I have a motion from Commissioner Harvat with a second from Commissioner Ramos. May I get a roll call, please?
I'm sorry, I keep muting myself. Commissioner Boone,
Yes.
Mayor Heath,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat,
Yes.
Commissioner Frank,
Yes.
Commissioner
we heard
Bernard, Commissioner Bernard,
Yes.
Commissioner Barron,
Yes.
Commissioner Patton,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos.
Yes.
Motion to accept the resignation of Adele Feliciano and Hope Bernard is approved by unanimous vote.
So item number 3 is to appoint a chairperson for the Human Relations Commission. May
I
I,
would like,
before we actually like make the motion, like let's take the nominations. So do we have any nominations for the chairperson?
I would like to nominate D'Angelo Boone. Did you hear me?
Yes, yes, sorry. I was just waiting to see if we had any other nominations. So first, before we even take any other nominations, Commissioner Boone, would you accept if chosen?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have any other nominations for chairperson for the Human Relations Commission? Mr. Pat?
I'd like to nominate Andrea Bernard.
Do you accept Commissioner
I do.
Bernard? Okay. So do we want to, I know we didn't really discuss this ahead of time, do we want to do a vote and then if somebody is second in the votes, because obviously there's 9 of us, so somebody probably would be, then maybe make that motion after to possibly, you know, that's an idea that we can make a motion to have them be vice chair. You know, that's one way to go about this. We don't have to do it that way. This is really up to us on how we want to do this. But how would we like to proceed with the 2 nominations? Do you want to put that to a vote? Would you like to hear a little bit from them? What do you want? We can have that discussion before we ever make the motion, and then we will open it up to public comment once we have the motion.
I feel that we should have them say a little bit about themselves.
Okay. Commissioner Boone?
Okay. D'Angelo Boone, I am the community outreach manager for Habitat for Humanity. Been in that position for about going on 3 years now, about 2.5 years or so. I am also the chair for the A3 Resident Coalition, All About Adrian Resident Coalition. I am a local pastor here in town as well. I am also the vice president for the Community Action Agency Advisory Board. And I'm trying to think about what else is that I'm engaged in. I find I'm engaged in quite a few things in community. Yeah, unless you guys want to know something other specific, I like long walks on the beach. But I am definitely engaged in community activities and just an advocate for community, especially those that are challenged in community and marginalized.
Thank you. Commissioner Bernard?
Yes, my name is Andrea Bernard. I'm a pastor's wife. My husband has been pastoring in this community over 40 years. I am also one of the pastors, administrative pastors at the church. I also work very hard in the Department of Corrections. I retired from the prison. My husband also was a business manager there, and he built the prison there here in Adrian. So I was able to come home and work in this community. I have also worked for the Human Relations Commission and also for NIRO, which is the national group of human rights workers. And I've been doing that for probably 40 years. I'm the past president of the MLK, Martin Luther King Dinner Committee, and I've worked with that committee for probably 12 years. I've also been part of that committee from its inception. I've worked in this community over 40 years and been a part of this commission under about 7 mayors. And it's good work. working in this community, reaching out. I still work with the young people in this community. You don't have to be a member of our church in order for us to reach out. And I keep myself involved with doing as much work as I can in terms of making this community a better place for our children, our grandchildren, and all of the young people that we have walking the streets.
Mary, you're on mute.
Sorry, people keep walking in out of my house, so I keep muting myself. Sorry. So do we want, so how do we want to proceed with this? Is, you know, do we want to make a motion to, you know, make a motion to vote? That was how I would say that we proceed, is to make a motion to vote for Commissioner Boone, or, you know, for chairperson. Then we make a motion to vote for Commissioner Bernard for chairperson. And then once we have the one with the highest votes, then we just need to make a motion to appoint that person. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? It's a little complicated, but it's like the right process. So may I have a motion to vote for Commissioner Boone for chairperson?
I make a motion.
Okay.
Who is the second? Sorry. Oh,
Chris.
thank you. All right. So I have a motion to vote for Commissioner Boone to be the chairperson. So if you're going to vote, I will ask for public comment in a minute, but just to reiterate, when we do go to vote for that, if you want Commissioner Boone to be that, then you will vote yes. If you are going to vote for Commissioner Bernard, then say no, okay? Does that make sense, what I'm asking? Okay. So is there any public comment? Is there any commissioner comment? All right, so we have a motion from Commissioner Ramos with a second from Commissioner Carter to vote for Commissioner Boone to be the chairperson. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Patton. Lindsay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
I'm deciding. I'm deciding. This is a very difficult decision. That's sorry. Next. Can somebody else go? I'm sorry. I'm still deciding.
Commissioner
Okay.
Ramos.
Was that me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, that was you.
Yes.
Commissioner Boone.
Yes.
Mayor Heath.
I'm going to abstain from all these votes, by the way. So I'm abstaining.
Okay.
I can do that, right?
Yep. Commissioner Carter.
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat.
This is difficult. No.
Commissioner Frank. Yes.
She said yes. We can't always hear you. That's why. Yes, she said
Commissioner
yes.
Bernard.
No.
Commissioner Barron.
No.
No. Okay, I gotta count.
Well, you haven't done Commissioner Patton yet. You have to come back to her.
Oh,
No.
Lindsay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Wait, was that a no?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay, so it's a tie with one abstention. So I got 4 yes and 4 no and 1 abstention. So you got a tie vote here. Somebody needs to break the tie.
Okay, so I guess then, can I just go back and change mine then and vote? Robin, what do you think? Or I don't know how to break that tie, because we'll have the tie when we go to.
You're actually on the commission. I don't think it'd be a conflict. And Michelle, if you feel differently, you can chime in there, but I don't.
I know, because I am on the commission. I was just trying not to.
I don't think it's a conflict for her to
Yes.
vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
I
Michelle.
was just abstaining just because I thought it was the right thing to do. I didn't think it was a conflict. I just felt. So if you want to know why I made this decision, you can always ask me, but I'm going to say no.
Okay, so you have okay. So the position for Commissioner Boone to be chairperson is fails by a 5 no, 4 yes vote.
Okay. So may I have a motion to vote for, we're still going to do the vote again. We're going to do this every time. Sorry. May I have a motion to vote for Commissioner Bernard to be the chairperson?
A motion.
Second?
I second.
Oh, okay. I got Commissioner Barron before you, Lindsay. Sorry.
That,
Okay.
no, it doesn't matter.
All right. Is there any public comment? Is there any commissioner comment? All right. So I have a motion to vote for Commissioner Bernard to be the chairperson. Roll call, please.
Can you tell me who first and second in that?
I'm sorry, Commissioner, you're right. My bad.
Well, I
had a
forgot. I
motion-
didn't see it.
I had the motion from Commissioner Carter with a second from Commissioner Barron.
Okay, so we'll start with Commissioner Boone.
Yes.
Mayor Heath,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat,
Yes.
Commissioner Frank.
You said
Commissioner-
yes.
Yeah, Commissioner Bernard,
Same.
She said yes.
I said abstain.
yeah,
I'm
yes.
sorry. I thought you said same. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Commissioner Barron,
Yes.
Commissioner Patton,
Yes.
and Commissioner Ramos.
I'll abstain.
Okay, so the motion to appoint Andrea Bernard as chair of the Human Relations Commission passes by a 7 yes and 2 abstention vote.
Okay. So please help me, Robin, on this. We don't need to actually vote for a motion to elect her as chair because we just did.
No.
Correct?
Yeah, that was a roll call vote. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So since you do have a chair now, Commissioner Bernard, you can take it over for the rest of the agenda.
And I think, Madam Mayor, you should finish this meeting.
You want me to finish
So,
it?
Yes,
Okay, I'll
ma'am.
finish it. Okay. May I have a motion for nominations for vice, so I don't need a motion, I'm sorry. May I have some nominations for the vice chair for the HRC? It can just be one, it can be more, however we want to do it.
I nominate Joaquin Ramos.
I'll accept.
Thank you. Do we have any other nominations? Sister?
I'd like to nominate D'Angelo Boone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. Give me 1 second. I have a question. Is if once chairs and once vice chairs are chosen, is there a nomination every year, or is there just the one nomination? That's it.
Well, you're all going to have different, you have different terms because some have been in longer than others. So there would be, if somebody, well, first of all, like we're redoing nominations now and they had not done them that long ago, but it was because we had so much turnover. But you would have it if somebody, so let's say like, so let's say somebody's term ran out and they were the chair or, you know, and they didn't continue on. That would maybe be where that example would be. You know, and I don't know how we do it, and you can help me, current commissioners that were on it before, or former commissioners that were on it for the past, you know, what happened once you, once your term ran out, or how that worked. I don't know.
Well, we had to fill Italy's, or I mean, all the past presidents, I've kept the same position for how many years, Angie?
2.5.
Do you have
So-
terms on you though? I think the new commission,
The
I think
terms,
it's certain
the
years.
terms are 4 years. However,
Uh-huh.
I thought we were starting afresh
Yeah.
under
Yes.
you as the mayor.
Okay,
And so if we start afresh, then we all start at the
Right.
same level.
so there we go.
However,
Mhm.
we have had all of the presidents, chairpersons to move on. Tamaris was the first, and she was elected to be the attorney for the city. So she had to leave. The others had other challenges that came up and they went forward. And some spots we did not have anyone there. The vice chair, there was only one that was ever appointed, and she was moved up to the presidency, the chairperson. So we could do it any way that you would like to do it, madam.
But that's one reason why there needs to be a vice chair, because, you know, things do happen and things come up. And that's where we've had the problem, that we've had to renominate and kind of start over every time, where if we had a vice chair, that person can fill that role immediately. And that's where that person would go.
Good.
Okay. I was just curious. I'm going to say no.
Okay. So not hearing any other nominations, may I get a motion to appoint Commissioner Ramos for vice chairperson for the HRC?
I motion.
I
Second.
said,
I'm going to give the motion to Commissioner Barron, and who's second? We can do two. I don't know who did it with Commissioner Harvard. There we go. There we go. Commissioner Carter, was that you that seconded with her?
yes. Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. All right. So I have, is there any public comment? Are there any commissioner comments? I have a motion from Commissioner Barron with a second from Commissioner Harvat and Commissioner Carter to appoint Commissioner Ramos as the vice chairperson of the HRC. May I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Patton,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos,
Yes.
Commissioner Boone,
Yes.
Mayor Heath,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat,
Yes.
Commissioner Frank,
Say yes.
Commissioner Bernard,
Yes.
and Commissioner Barron.
Yes.
The motion to approve Joaquin Ramos as vice chair of the Human Relations Commission is approved by unanimous vote.
All right. Moving on to item number 5, to appoint a secretary for the Human Relations Commission. Before we make the motion, are there any nominations for this position?
I would like to.
Go ahead.
I
Commissioner
wasn't sure if I was
Harvat's
muted.
gonna nominate somebody, but go ahead.
I'd like to nominate D'Angelo.
Commissioner Harvat,
I nominate Lindsay Patton.
Commissioner Boone, Commissioner Patton, do you accept? If chosen as the secretary.
I'll let Commissioner Lindsay go first.
I will help you, D'Angelo. I will help you. We can work on this together.
So she's telling you she doesn't want it.
I know.
I'll accept.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay. All right.
I'll do
Lindsay,
it.
I'll help you. I'll help you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you're not
Fair
accepting,
enough.
Angelo? Is that what you're doing, or are you?
I'm sorry.
So are you accepting or no? Are we voting or no? Or
No.
which- Okay.
No.
Thank you.
I'll take it.
All right. May I have a motion to appoint? Oh, no. Oh yeah, I can do the motion. I forgot. May I have a motion to appoint Commissioner Patton as secretary for the Human Relations Commission?
A motion.
I second.
Robin, that second is from Bernard and Harvat.
Yep.
I was just making sure we were on the same page. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any public comment? Are there any commissioner comments? I have a motion from Commissioner Boone with a second from Commissioner Bernard and Commissioner Harvat to appoint Commissioner Patton as secretary for the Human Relations Commission. May I have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Boone,
Yes.
Mayor Heath,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat,
Yes.
Commissioner Frank, Commissioner Bernard,
Yes.
Commissioner Barron,
Yes.
Commissioner Patton,
Yes.
and Commissioner Ramos.
Yes.
Motion to appoint Commissioner Patton as secretary for the HRC is approved by unanimous vote.
Okay. Item number 6. I will entertain motions, not motions, sorry. I'll entertain nominations for the position of treasurer.
Didn't we have Secretary Pro Tem to do?
Yeah.
Is that first on yours? I have the wrong agenda. We already realized that. I had the original one. Do you have Secretary Pro Tem before that? Sorry.
Yes.
For me, it's
I
number
do.
So
6.
I'm sorry, I go to Secretary Pro Tem. I'm sorry, I'll entertain nominations for Secretary Pro Tem. Okay, I'll make a nomination. I have one. I'm on the commission. I can do it. I will nominate Commissioner Boone. Will you accept that for Pro Tem?
I accept.
Oh. Can I
Yes.
ask a question?
Yes.
Pastor Boone,
Yes.
would you consider the treasurer's position?
She wants to know that now before we get to voting for the Secretary Pro Tem. I know why she's asking.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do I have another motion of, too many words. Do you have another nomination at all for the Secretary Pro Tem, now knowing that information?
Nominate Commissioner Frank.
Do you accept, just nod your head. There we go. Thank
She
you.
said, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't looking when all right. So we have So we have Commissioner Boone and Commissioner Kavasis Frank that are up for Secretary Pro Tem. Do you both accept to go to a vote, or do you want to go to a vote? I mean, I'm just asking if you're good with this to move on? Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I was asking. All right. So may I get a motion to vote for Commissioner Boone for the position of Secretary for the Human Relations Commission?
I motion.
Okay, I'll do the second on you, Lindsay. I saw you raise your hand. So
Okay.
that motion will be Commissioner Ramos with a second from Commissioner Patton. Okay, just, is there any public comment or on that? Are there any commissioner comments? So just to reiterate, I will make a comment before we go to vote. Just to reiterate then, if you will be voting then, if you do not vote for Commissioner Boone, that automatically, I mean, we will still vote for Commissioner Kavasis Frank, but you are voting in this situation because there's two, just like we did in the chairperson. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, I have a motion from Commissioner Ramos with a second from Commissioner Patton. Roll call, please.
Mayor Heath,
No,
Who was,
was that a no?
that's a no, sorry.
We're voting for secretary?
For Secretary Pro Tem, for
Okay.
Commissioner Boone, yes.
Commissioner Carter,
No.
Commissioner Harvat,
No,
Commissioner Frank. Was it a no?
He said no.
Commissioner Bernard,
No.
Commissioner Barron,
No.
Commissioner Patton,
no,
Commissioner Ramos,
Yes.
Commissioner Boone,
What's the terminology I'm looking for?
You wanna-
I abstain?
You can
Yes.
abstain. Is that what you're looking for?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the motion to appoint Commissioner Boone as vice chair failed by a 1, 2, 3.
Secretary Pro Tem, Secretary Pro
Yeah,
Tem.
Secretary Pro Tem by a 6 no, 1 yes. I'm sorry, 7 no, 1 yes, 1 abstention vote.
Thank you, Robin.
I think I got that right.
You did. Okay. May I get a motion to appoint Commissioner Kavasis Frank for a Secretary Pro Tem?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any public comment? Are there any commissioner comments? So I have a motion to appoint Commissioner Kavasis Frank for Secretary Pro Tem. The motion was by Commissioner Bernard with a second from Commissioner Ramos. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat,
yes,
Commissioner Frank, Commissioner Bernard,
Yes.
Commissioner Barron,
Yes.
Commissioner Patton,
yes,
Commissioner Ramos,
Yes.
Commissioner Boone,
Yes.
Mayor Heath.
Yes.
The motion to appoint, I'm going to try to say your name right, Ashley, Commissioner Kavassis Frank as Secretary Pro Tem was approved by an all yes vote.
Okay. I will now take nominations for the position of treasurer for the Human Relations Commission.
I nominate Pastor.
Commissioner Harvat,
I nominate D'Angelo Boone.
I second.
do you accept if given that position?
Yes.
Do I have any other nominations? Okay, may I get a motion to appoint Commissioner Boone for treasurer of the Human Relations Commission?
I motion.
I second.
Is there any public comment? Are there any commissioner comments? I will make a comment, D'Angelo. I think that this is the position right now with your plate being so full, which is why I did vote the other way in the first one. I just want you to ease into this and learn the Human Relations Commission and really grasp and I don't want you too overwhelmed. And I love all you're doing in the community and how passionate you are. And I just want to make sure that we don't burn you out. We need you in this community. So, and I think you would do really great in this position. So now I can explain why I did vote the way I did, but I also wanted to abstain because I was really torn. So, but that is why, and I think that this would be a really great position for you. And, but that is why I did choose to, and I thank you for your service to our community. And we just want to keep you not burn out, and we want to keep you going and helping our community.
I appreciate
Same
it.
here. Yes, that is exactly why. Same here, D'Angelo.
Yeah,
Right.
appreciate it.
Same
Thank
here too. We want you around for a while.
you.
Yes, a long time, D'Angelo.
Okay, I have a motion to appoint Commissioner Boone for treasurer for the Human Relations Commission. The motion was by Commissioner Ramos with a second from Commissioner Harvat. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Harvat,
Yes.
Commissioner Frank,
Yes.
Commissioner Bernard,
Yes.
Commissioner Barron,
Yes.
Commissioner Patton,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos,
Yes.
Commissioner Boone,
Yes.
Commissioner, Mayor Heath,
Yes.
and Commissioner Carter.
Yes.
Motion to appoint Commissioner Boone as treasurer of the HRC is approved by an all yes vote.
Okay, now it is time for, I didn't miss anything on the agenda, right? I can go to public comment since I'm looking at the old one. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it is time for public comment. So if there is anyone that is listening that would like to make public comment, now is the time to do so.
Hello, Ken Tokars, 110 Locust. One of the things I'd like the group to add is possibly political views to your list of items, specifically the cannabis ordinance. There were issues that I don't think council addressed in a timely manner, and then there's also city spending. The other thing I'd like to ask you to look at is a charter amendment or changing the charter. The charter is from 1957, and it still shows, it says for the mayor, it says he. We now have a female mayor, and so it's not accurate. It needs to be updated. The other thing with the charter is I don't feel that the east side of Adrian is represented because it's an at-large election system, and I think that we should go back to precincts, and I would like the commission to take a look at that. Transparency and blight. The city had an Engage Adrian website. They also had another item for blight. I've applied to it several times, and they just mark it off as complete. So I think definitely you need a third party to look at what's going on. The other thing is with meetings and agendas. I think the city censors what people say. If they don't like what someone's saying, the city does not include that in their meeting minutes. If they like what they hear, they put it in. If they don't like what they hear, they don't include it in the meeting minutes. And I also like this group to look at that. Thank you.
You're on mute, Mayor.
Sorry, do we have any other public comment? Now it is time for commissioner comments. Do we have any commissioner comments?
I have one comment. This is Andrea. I'd just like to say to this commission that I appreciate being nominated and selected to be your chairperson, but I believe in team. I don't believe one person is greater than the other, but we need to all work together for the good of this community, east side and west side. And I've lived on both sides. So I do know the challenges that we face, even in our community, but we need to all know those challenges and we need to all work towards the goal that not only the mayor has, but that the city dictates. So thank you.
I would like to thank everyone for your commitment to serving on this very, very important, commission for our city and our community. And as discussed in our long pre-meeting, that, we have a lot of work to do and we have a lot that, we are looking at to accomplish, and it's going to be, it's going to take a lot of work, but it's going to be great for our community. And I just really want to thank you for your service and commitment and your time. And I feel honored to serve alongside of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
I also want to take this minute to thank Robin Connor for giving up her evening to be our secretary.
Yes.
Since did not have one yet because of the new voting. So thank you very much, Robin, for giving of your time to do this for us this evening.
Thank you, Robin.
You're very
Thanks,
welcome.
Robin.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mayor, for being on the committee.
Yes. All right. Well, hearing no other commissioner comments, may I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Stay safe.
You.
Care, be safe.
Yeah, be safe.